Hey everybody. It's a tired Eric's Edge tonight. So today was kind of a long day. After a long week. After a long month. I don't know. Maybe it's been a long year. Anyway, today I drove about 4 hours total time to go pick up from two different locations in southeastern Michigan some retro computer stuff. So this is not an April 2 uh, live stream because I did not pick up an Apple. What I did get was something that Trina was looking for, which was a Macintosh Classic with she's looking for the logic board for it. So I've got good news and bad news about that. So let me switch cameras here. As you could probably tell from the intro screen that I had on the live stream stuff, this was a battery bombed Classic, which is not surprising. I picked a Classic and an SE up from this gentleman who he didn't even really know that they had value. Had no idea what battery bombing was. Never really used Apple computers. He just happened to have some, and he's a musician that plays in a Celtic band, and he happens to know we have common friends from the Renaissance Fair. So when I reached out to him and said, "Hey, what do you got?" He said, "Hey, I'll cut you a deal. We got mutual friends." So I got both computers for $30. 15 each. And he was really just like, I just need to get rid of these. I never did ask him how he came about them. But anyway, long story short, I drove out there and picked them up. I also picked up some other stuff, and I'll get to that in a minute. So let's look at this. Let me switch cameras. Of course, I'm not on the right camera here. All right, so before we get into the details on this thing, I couldn't help it. I was going to open this thing up on the live stream. I went ahead and did it anyway because I'm too curious. I couldn't wait. So who do we got tonight? We've got Garth and Starbuck. We've got Retro Techie, Frank S, One Bit Fever Dreams, Adam McGee. Adam, aren't you at VCF East? Don't you have things to do? Or maybe they're done for the night. I don't know. Let's see, who else do we have? Trina's Technobabble. Anyway, is it fixed yet? No, in fact, there's some question about that. We'll get to it. I want to point out that Trina, Frank, and Ryan have a new live streaming event that they're putting on every Friday night now, or I think it's every Friday night. Now that I've said it, you have to do it every Friday. And it's WTF. It's got a longer name, but that's what stuck in my head. And it's like a ye old something something something. Anyway, the three-letter acronym for it is WTF. So I'll let them correct me in the chat. Trina, why don't you go ahead and put a link into it in there so that people can subscribe and like and all that good stuff. So let's start with what was written on the top of this thing. So it had written on it, has turbo, works, no hard drive. Whatever that means. I asked the guy about it, and he said that was probably written on there 20 years ago. And I'm like, I believe it. After you take a look at the back of this thing, and this is a good indicator of what you're going to find. You probably can't see it too well, but this is rusty. So I'm going to turn around and show you some more of the horror. Let's see if we can get the camera in here. There. Nice, nice, nice battery juice. Look at that battery juice, and it's rusty in the back. So this thing is battery bombed and probably was damp at one point. So let's put that out of the way. I saved the battery. So we have to do, and I put it in a bag because the battery is losing parts of itself. So this is the state of the battery that was in it. So it gave up its life probably 10 years ago. Battery juice, lick it. No, not going to lick it. But I will do the obligatory. Let's measure the voltage. I'll bet there ain't none. So, but why not? Let's try it. Okay. It'll probably disintegrate as I try. Believe it or not, there is a little bit of life left in this battery. Maybe. If I can get past the non-conductive layer. There's about half a volt. That's amazing. Okay, gonna put it back in its little coffin. Get rid of some of the battery crufty stuff. Yeah, not good. Okay, so as you can imagine, a little parched. As you can imagine, when I finally got this thing open, because it took a lot of persuasion to get it to open up, rust came out of the drive. Let's see. So there's the plate for the analog board, and surprisingly, get these off so I don't lose them. The analog board's not in too bad a shape. I mean, the traces are kind of crufty, and it might not work. I don't know, but I was surprised it wasn't worse. So, but it definitely reached up into there. I'm afraid to push on this thing to put the peg back in. Excuse me for a second here. I mean, it makes rusty scraping noises when I try to move it. Alright, we're not going to worry about that going back in. We'll just leave it. Alright. So if you look at it from this perspective, it's not too bad. You know, I bet you the tube probably still works, but look at that crustiness on the inside. Yummy. All right. So after looking at that, let me get the case cover back on here. If I can. Oh, it just grinds when you try to close it because of all the rust. All right. Some more of it on the table, the desk. Yeah. Let's look at the logic board. Okay, are you guys prepared? Because this is horrible. This is horrifying. Here it comes. Look at that. That is just delicious. Look how it shines in the light. I lost probably the crystal, I think was here. There was a little can. It fell off. It's on the floor somewhere. I think those were a couple of capacitors. I'm going to say, and there's your rusty connector. When I looked at the back, I saw that and I went, okay, it's battery bombed. I'm going to say this probably is not worth even trying to repair. Yeah, it looks like lava, doesn't it? Get up really close there. It's shiny lava. The edge connector is all corroded. Yeah, but I did not see this first. Let me show you what else I found in this thing. This was not the only board that was in this thing. I looked this up. I haven't been able to find a reference to it. I'm hoping, I think, that some people on the stream are going to know what this is. But this was difficult to get. This is why the board was difficult to get out. Here's some memory expansion. And a processor. And there's also a, let me get a little closer map, sorry. There's also a floating point chip in here. So this sat on top of, I believe, the processor. There's a little bit of goo there from a heatsink, I think, or whatever. It's a TW2340. It's some kind of upgrade expansion thing, processor upgrade. And I tried to find it online. I can't find any information about it. It's a Presto Mac 68030 upgrade, very rare. You know, like I said, I tried to find information online, couldn't find a single thing about it. So, and this appears because it was sitting on top of the CPU, or rather the logic board, to have survived. It wasn't corroded by the battery juice at all. There's a little bit of like residue on it that it picked up, but I think this is probably good. So Trina, for 15 bucks, you got yourself probably a rare board. I have no idea what it's worth. That's an M2 silicon board. Yes, so you upgrade your classic to an M2. Anyway, but I thought that was pretty cool. So, bad logic board, but beautiful processor upgrade thingy. So, alright. So if anybody's got some information about this thing, let me know. I'm going to get it into an anti-static bag. And Trina, I wouldn't bother with the logic board on that classic, but if you can get a classic logic board for your machine, you could put this on it. And you got it for 15 bucks. Retro Techie, no, you can't have it. Not even for 20. Talk to Trina. And of course, I'm getting my fingers into the goo on there. So let me get rid of that quickly. Anyway, so that was kind of a find. Old World Tech Fridays, yes. Old WTF. So, all right, Trina. So everybody make sure you go see that on Fridays. So that wasn't the only system that I picked up. I haven't looked and opened up the other one. I got an SE. Just a second. Oh. So this is the SE. You can see it's got a chunk out of the front there. It's a little rough. It doesn't look corroded though on the back. So let's see what kind of shape it's in. Yeah, if you like what I'm doing here, or even if you don't like what I'm doing, hit the like button. It helps other people see the content that I produce. If you like it and you want to know more about what's going on, subscribe. And if you ring the bell, then you'll find out when I'm going to stream. I usually try to schedule things a little farther out than just an hour. Trina convinced me to do this tonight, and honestly I was very curious what was going on in these machines, so I hate these screws. Here we go. I think they're actually out. Okay. Of course, one comes out, not the other one. Gouges in the top of this, and that's a crack across that case top. So what's going on in the chat? Brain, what is Brain? A little original series for you. Okay, finally got it. Hey, there we go. Oh, don't lose it. And get the back ones off. So if you didn't notice, the screws in the top are different than the screws in the bottom. So they're different threads, a lot finer on the black ones. You don't want to mix those up because you mess up the threads, or the socket, the receptacle for the screw. Anyway. Okay. Let's see if I can break some nails. There's tape across the open drive opening on there, so it doesn't have a hard drive in it, I suspect. Maybe it was two floppies and they took one out. I don't know. They covered it up, I guess, to keep the dust and the cockroaches out. Oh, geez. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find a tool. There we go. VCF East is a blast. I'm sure it is. I can't wait for Midwest. That was a blast last year too. I imagine they're doing the late night party thing tonight. That's what happened at Midwest. Okay. Alright, well, the inside of this looks pretty clean. I don't see any corrosion of any kind, so that's good. What else we got here? Oh, So oh, these things are always so heavy. I need to pull a cable off. So Adam went to have 2 beers with Big Bad Biologist, and now you're tired. Yeah, that guy would exhaust me too. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without necking the board. I was putting the back on my SE on last year and dropped it, and it broke the neck off of the tube. So you want to make sure you don't do that. Well, it can be a little tight in here though. One of the problems of being who I am, there we go. I have big hands. These are sausage fingers. And sausage fingers don't like to fit. Somebody monitor Trina. Okay, we can leave that plugged in. All right. So let's get this logic board off. All right, what am I forgetting? There's no screws there. Oh, this thing's got a card on top of it too. Sorry, I'm bumping into things. This might be a little tight to get out. Yeah, there's a card on top of the card or logic board. Okay, there's a adapter that's sticking up. Right here. I guess you have to, like stretch it sideways to get the board out. Hinge it out, yeah. I have not messed with one of these that has expansion cards in it. Of course, I don't want to break anything. Okay, I'm making progress now. Whatever this is, it's tight. God, the grinding of the rust is really driving me nuts. Hang on a second. That's a little better. Well, maybe I have to go the other way. Well, can I take the analog board off to help get this out? It has to slide a tad before you can hinge it. Well, that's the problem. I can't slide it at all because you can't really see it. This adapter is keeping it from going any further out. So I can't move it up to where it clears the tabs. So what I'm trying to do is to kind of bend it past the tabs, but it's kind of tight. Man, they really wedged these things in here. What if I just broke the board down the center and then... No. That would be bad. Yeah. Excuse my head. Okay, well, I bent that enough where I could get it out of the way. I can't imagine getting this sucker in here. Oh, I see. There's tabs on the top of that. Okay. There we go. Ah! Finally. Okay, there's some kind of... Oh, there's an expansion card on this thing too. Look at that. What the heck? Applied Engineering. So this is a souped up SE. It's got a coprocessor. It's a Mac SE2 accelerator. Well, sweet. I think I hit the jackpot. I wonder where he got these machines from. Huh. Well, that's got to go. I'll clip that off there right now. But this one is not battery bombed. That's sweet. Wow, I think this was a good find. It was definitely worth the drive. Bend that back a little bit. Oh. Very nice. Well, this thing's going to be worth putting together and cleaning up. It's really not all that dusty either. So it plugs into the expansion port. And it's got a standoff here. It's really just a post for it to sit on. Nice. Well, I'm going to have to read up on these. I don't really know anything about them. That's cool. So let's see what's in the chat. No, Retrotech, you can't have it. Yeah, that's why it was stuck in there. You couldn't. It was running up through the through this expansion slot, and I couldn't get it out. I had to bend this bracket out a little bit, and then get the tabs out of the top there. I didn't realize there were tabs holding it in, but once I did that, it came out okay. I have one more machine or parts of a machine. No, he didn't have any more. He sold. He had a. What did he have? I don't know. He had something on Marketplace, but it sold before I was able to. He had already had it pending. So. You have the 68020 version of that card, and I have the drivers. Cool. You got timed out, Starbuck Tech. So, Gut Bomb, you found a Performa 615 CD with an Apple Multiscan 15 this week and got quite a deal. I only wanted it for the monitor, but the whole package was bought in 1995 and immediately put away and never. Oh, those are nice when you can find those. You know, they might be yellowed plastics just from the like temperature and stuff like that, but they're nice when you can get them. Yeah, I like flea markets. It's really good for vintage game purchases and stuff. I don't usually find vintage computers at the ones I go to, but there's a big flea market that's about an hour from me that I'll go to. In fact, I think it started back up or starts up in another couple of weeks. So, but yeah, so I think I did pretty good for $30. So let's oh, do I want to put this board back in there? I think I'm going to mess around with this weekend some, so I might leave it apart. Put it back in the case though. It's too bad the case has a broken corner, cracked corner on it, but oh well. Can't have that. There goes the shield. Can't have everything. I'll just leave that out. Okay, so this is something I should be able to fire up and see whether it works. Yes, I got both this and the classic for $30. The guy was, at one point, again, we have mutual friends, so he was happy just to see that it went to somebody who was going to do something with it. He wasn't aware of how large the community is or anything like that, and so he cut me a deal. He was gonna throw in the SE for nothing. I'm like, no, let me give you something for it. so I could have got both of them for $20, but oh, all right. So Leaning Tower of Computers here. I do not need the towel for the next thing. Okay, this is originally why I was driving to Detroit. Some of you may recognize what this is. It is not complete. However, with the help of Ron's computer videos. No, I haven't booted them yet. The classic is bombed beyond the point, but the SE2, or excuse me, the SE looks like it's pretty good. I'll probably start that up. Yeah, those upgrade cards are neat. The upgrade card and the logic board goes to Trina because she for the classic, because that was the deal. I said I'd pick it up. She said she didn't want the case or anything. She just wanted the logic board. But you can have the whole thing if you want, Trina. It's up to you. If you want to deal with taking it back. But we can, and if you don't want to bother with the logic board, you can just take the accelerator. So this is a cube. It's a G4 cube, or pieces to one. Here's the handle. It does not have the lucite or the metal case for it. That is not part of it. But this was from somebody in Canada that Ron from Ron's computer videos mentioned to me because he knew I was messing around with cubes. And when I contacted them, they work out of, they live in Windsor and they work out of Detroit. So it took a few weeks, but instead of having them package it up and ship it to me, I just met them in Detroit. And we did an exchange, so that worked out really well. We've got the optical drive and the shield that goes with it. We have the chassis, the frame for it. So we got a lot of the pieces. This is the hard drive that was in it. So it's a Western Digital 20 gigabyte. Yeah, I can keep the logic board from the classic. Yeah, I didn't figure you'd probably want to mess around with it. I have no idea if the components are even worth bothering with on it, so I'll find out. And now they said they tried to get it working, but there might be components that are no good on it. Since I've got a working one, I figured I might be able to swap parts to figure out what's going on. But you've got, there's a video card here. There's some RAM. It's got the, it's got the startup button. It's the capacitance sensitive button. It's got the power board on it, the battery holder, and of course the logic board and the processor and stuff. So on the G4 Cube, it's a little bit different. This logic board doesn't have the CPU on it. The CPU is sandwiched between this heat sink here, and then it's on a daughter card that goes on the logic board. So it's kind of weird. It came with a mouse, the door for the air card for it. That's the modem card. More RAM. the heatsink cover that goes over the drive, various screws, and they save the battery. But this is why, oh yeah, and the standoffs for the cube. But this is why it was worth the $50 to get the parts. 2 PSUs. These things, if they're working, and hopefully they are worth, I don't know, I couldn't find one any less than $130 online on eBay. So it was definitely worth the trouble to get all this for $50, even if the actual computer is not functional. Oh yeah, it came with a mouse. So I got to test these power adapters and see if they actually work. And it's nice because I got the cable. I had to, for my cube, I bought a power supply that had the cable cut, and I had to buy cable and then buy the connector, and of course the cable was problematic because it's stiff, four conductor cable, and the end connector is the right size and everything, but of course it doesn't look like this. It's just a black one. So and it's kind of squirrely going on. It doesn't really fit tight. So I'm going to test these power supplies and see if they work. Not going to do that tonight because Tired Eric is tired after driving that much. And I drive a Saturn Ion, a 2005 Saturn Ion. It does not have air conditioning, and it was 80 degrees today, so that was not fun. And of course it's construction season in Michigan. Our state flower is not the trillium. It is the orange cone that they use for road work. That's the state flower, and it's blooming right now. So anyway, got those parts, got to test that. So that's what today's haul was getting these parts. Was originally why I was going that far, so I went all the way downtown Detroit, and then happened across the other guy who was in one of the suburbs, so I made a grand circuit and picked up both. Trina, you sent me a DM. Okay, I will as soon as I'm done here. So, but that's pretty much, that's it for today. Got some nice boards here, apparently. And Trina, you've got a nice accelerator board for when you do get a classic Logic board you can use with your classic. And I'm going to put this SE together this weekend, and I'll probably live stream that and test it out. See how it works. Test the power supplies for the cube. See if I got lucky there. Maybe I'll sell my the one I cobbled together. Why not? Somebody could use it. Can you have my Apple II? No, you can't have my Apple II. So, it pays to look at Marketplace and keep track, because this guy did not want to ship. He just wanted to do it local. And unfortunately, the other things he had for sale, he sold right away. So I think he would have held them for me if I had wanted to. But they were already gone. So, and then and this took this I think was like 4 weeks in the making to find a time where we could both go, but didn't have to mess with shipping. Yeah, I've seen some of them. Steve has shown them off before. I think Adam has some. I don't know if I've seen Bruce showing any off, but I know Steve's got several. But I'm just geeked up. It's got, it's fully loaded with RAM too. So this thing's got all the RAM. Oh, you can't see it here. And I'm the wrong way. So, it's loaded up with RAM, so that'll be cool. My the SE and SE FDHD I have both have only 4, so that's neat. RetroTechie only has PPC upgrade cards. Power PC upgrade cards. Yeah, it was hot all around Boston. I'm sure anywhere south of us was hot. Ohio was probably too hot. Um, yeah, I wonder how much RAM is on there too. Um, I don't know. Probably 8. That's what I'm guessing. Or, well, what are those chips? I can't read them. Oh, now I'll pull the battery off tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it tonight. So I hope everybody that's at VCF East is enjoying it. Um, maybe I could figure out a way to go next year or the year after. I am going to VCF Midwest. Um, so I've got a coffee going on if anybody feels like contributing to it. It's for a Naboo because I'd like to do some programming on that architecture. Got a couple of game ideas that I want to do. But if for some reason I don't reach the goal in time to get a Naboo, I'll just use the money for VCF Midwest. I'm going to be taking uh, the Performa 550 with me. That's got a network card in it and a CD-ROM cartridge, or what do you call those? Cassette tray kind of CD-ROM drives. I'm going to take that and sell it at VCF this year. Um, I have some other stuff I want to sell, and that'll help fund the hotel and all that. Um, what else is going on? That's about it. Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing a. I was told uh, I applied to do a panel at VCF Midwest on HyperCard, and they usually don't pick them till August, but the guy who is making the arrangements for it got back to me and told me, he says, yeah, just go ahead and consider yourself presenting. Wanted to know what night I'd do it, how long I needed, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing a HyperCard thing. Ron from Ron's Computer Videos is going to join me and help me with doing that presentation. So should be a lot of fun. I'll figure out some kind of prize to give away during it. Um, you know, um, because everybody should have something, right? Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Uh, what else? Yeah, and I've got a really low spec G5 I want to get rid of at VCF too. Retro Techie, if you come to VCF, you can have it. Yeah, I'm about to fall asleep too. Adam, you'll be in the audience heckling me. Cool. I want hecklers. So ask me tough questions so I can ignore you. Something like that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. It's going to be tough to give a presentation that's not too long because I have a tendency to be long-winded when I talk about things. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted Ron to help me out with it, so that we can make sure that it fits within the format, and that I do provide some information, but it's mostly going to be an intro to make people aware of it, and then that way they'll be able to go maybe watch a longer video or go to a web page that has more information, that kind of thing. So be more of an introduction to HyperCard. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for everybody who showed up. And I hope you all have a good weekend and a good night. And I tried to watch the live feed from VCF, but unfortunately, they must be having bandwidth issues because it kept cutting out. So I'll just wait for the videos to get loaded up. I'm sure they're going to be interesting. Yeah, security will kick me out at the allotted time. Yes, they will. So, don't know if anyone else is live streaming tonight. I don't think so. I'll probably stream tomorrow, even though VCF East is going on, and play around with the power supplies and stuff and that SC. See if we can get it running. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. I got to cue. I always do this. I forget to cue up the outro. So here we go.